All right, today we're diving into one of the most remote, most spiritually intense shrines in the entire Himalayas, Rudranath Temple. And as you're about to see, this is so much more than just a destination. It's a pilgrimage that really tests you, body and soul, where the journey itself is just as important as the arrival. This quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It perfectly sets the stage for what we're talking about. It's not just about getting to a place, it's about the effort, the endurance, and yeah, the total surrender it takes to even get there.
So, to really get Rudranath, we have to start at the beginning. We've got to explore its mythical origins. I mean, what makes this place so special, and why on earth is it revered as the actual face of a god?
Well, the name itself gives us a massive clue. Rudranath is the mukha, the face of Lord Shiva. It's a crucial stop on a super sacred pilgrimage circuit of 5 temples called the Panch Kedar. And think about it, as the face, it represents Shiva in his most direct, expressive, and kind of intimate form. That makes it totally central to the whole story.
And that story, it comes straight from one of the greatest epics ever told, the Mahabharata. This ancient text is what gives Rudranath its powerful origin story, and it's all about a desperate quest for forgiveness.
It's such a classic tale of redemption. So picture this. After the unbelievably destructive Kurukshetra war, the winning Pandava brothers are just wrecked with guilt. They desperately seek Lord Shiva's forgiveness. But Shiva, he's not making it easy. He avoids them by disguising himself as a bull. But the mighty brother Bhima, he sees right through it and tries to grab him. Just as he does, the bull vanishes into the ground, only to reappear in 5 different parts all across the Himalayas. And each part, you guessed it, became a sacred site.
And here is where it all comes together. This table shows you exactly where those 5 parts became temples. You've got the hump at Kedarnath, the arms at Tungnath, and right there, look at that, the face, the mukha, at Rudranath. Every single one of these temples in the Panch Kedar circuit marks a piece of this divine story, creating one of the most important pilgrimage routes in all of Hinduism.
Okay, so now we get the why. Let's talk about the how, because the journey to Rudranath is every bit as important as the temple. It's a trek, both physically and spiritually, that really defines the entire experience.
So your pilgrimage kicks off, and you're immediately just swallowed up by nature. You're walking for kilometers through these thick, ancient rhododendron forests. It feels like a world completely removed from the noise and chaos of modern life.
Then, after the forests, the whole landscape just opens up in this dramatic way. You step out into these huge, high-altitude meadows they call bugils. And it's here you really feel the massive scale of the Himalayas. There's nothing but grass, sky, and these towering peaks in the distance.
Now for the final push. This is the part that really tests you. It is a steep, rocky climb that demands some serious physical and mental grit, pushing pilgrims to their absolute limits as they get closer and closer. And just look at that number, 3,600 meters. Let that sink in. That's nearly 12,000 feet. Rudranath is way up there in the thin, crisp air of the high Himalayas. And that altitude, it isn't just a number on a page. It's a huge part of the challenge. It demands your respect and very careful acclimatization. So if you're actually thinking about making this journey, and wow, what an adventure that would be, you gotta know the basics. The main route from Sagar village is a tough 20+ kilometers. It's definitely rated as moderate to difficult. You've got a pretty tight window to do it, usually between June and September. And the advice is the same for any high-altitude trek. Take your time getting used to the altitude, start your days early, and always respect the mountain. So after that incredible journey, what's waiting for you at the top? Let's talk about the arrival, because the temple itself is just as unique as the path that leads you there. You know, the temple's design tells its own story of survival. This isn't some grand, ornate palace, not at all. It's a natural rock temple built with these massive stone slabs, and they were designed with one purpose in mind, to withstand everything the Himalayas could possibly throw at it. And it's worked. For over 1,000 years, it's held strong against avalanches and brutal winters. It's a real testament to its simple, powerful design.
This right here gets to the absolute heart of what makes Rudranath so different. You see, unlike the more accessible shrines that get massive crowds and have a lot of commercial stuff around them, Rudranath's isolation has preserved its raw, ancient character. The focus here isn't on big, grand ceremonies. It's on tapasya, which is this deep, personal spiritual practice that's all about austerity and meditation. And you have to understand, that isolation, it's not a bug, it's a feature.
It is the very thing that defines Rudranath's incredible power and why it's so spiritually important.
And this really captures the feeling of the place. Being so far from the crowds, the silence at Rudranath is profound. Like this quote says, pilgrims often say it feels alive. It's a kind of silence that lets you really look inward, something that's pretty much impossible to find at the more popular holy sites.
So, to wrap it all up, Rudranath really means different things depending on who you are. To a historian, it's this perfectly preserved window into the past. For a trekker or a tourist, it's the ultimate high-altitude adventure with insane views. A geographer looks at it and sees a perfect marriage of faith and landscape. And for a devotee, it's the most direct, personal encounter you can have with the divine.
And that kind of leaves us with one final big question. In our world of instant gratification, where you can get anything with a click, what is the value of a destination that demands you totally surrender? A place that reminds us that some of the most profound experiences can't be downloaded or delivered. They have to be earned through effort, through endurance, and through just letting go. What can that teach us? Something to think about.